permission to film it. It was not a problem, hè?
Yeah.
Because ik welkom iedereen die hier is. Sommige mensen zijn van heen en ver gekomen, dus ik stel het extra op prijs dat jullie zo ver zijn gekomen. Ondanks het mooie weer, toch de moeite gedaan. We zijn niet zo lang geleden begonnen met een groep, een kerngroep. Vorige keer, 4 weken geleden, de eerste keer gehad. En we willen beginnen met een Black Consciousness groep hier in Utrecht. We vinden het nodig dat ook Utrecht en omgeving, dat er zwart bewustzijn op gang komt bij mensen, want het is nodig in onze gemeenschap. En we zijn nog in een brainstormfase. Dus wat voor vorm die groep gaat krijgen, daar zijn we nog mee bezig. Maar een van de dingen waren het bewustzijn op gang brengen bij onze zwarte broers en zusters. En ik heb overleg gehad met Kwaku. We waren beide enthousiast om in gesprek te gaan. En ik had in de eerste instantie gedacht van nou, we gaan in gesprek met het kerngroepje hier in Utrecht. En toen ik merkte dat er meer belangstelling was bij anderen, heb ik meer mensen uitgenodigd. Maar goed, dit is het. Er zijn mensen die uit Amsterdam komen, uit Rotterdam, dus uit Almere. Dus we stellen dat ontzettend op prijs. We willen ik ga niet over op Engels. My English is not so marvelous, but we will help each other if it is necessary. I've met Kwaku a few weeks ago, and when we talk, we realized that it's important to sit down together, and we have a lot of things to explain to each other, because the senior people from the Antilles, the black people, we are in diaspora, and we were colonized for more than 300 years, and they teach us that how the black people sold each other, how the Ashanti sold us. And so I think it's necessary that we sit down together and talk. And when I visit the Ashanti heritage, a meeting of them 2 or 3 weeks ago, I get a very warm welcome, and I felt home. Yeah. And I noticed that there is a need of the people to meet with the people in diaspora, and so we planned this I invited the delegation. So today is the day that we will can talk together and we can ask each other things, and because there is another side of the story, and I've talked with Kwaku, and there is a lot to say.
Wie is Kwaku?
Sorry, Kwaku is
the organization.
The organization is Ashanti Heritage International Movement.
Yeah.
Ashanti Heritage International.
I will give you the words, then you can explain it. Everything. We will talk in English. If there is the need to explain, we will help each other. It's not a problem. We are very curious. We have split the subject between before the Europeans came to Africa and after that. So Kwaku will and the delegation will talk about before the Europeans came and after that, and we will have a pause. And okay, I will let Kwaku speak and introduce those brothers and sisters of the Ashanti heritage and also the goals. So I'll give you the word.
Thank you very much, Mr. Graham. I'm welcoming you all today, and I see today as a great day in my life.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And today is a turning point in our mind, and that should be. because one of our prophets, that is Bob Marley, we see him as a prophet. He said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. So the issue at stake today is not to debate or not to argue, but to smoke peace pipe, that we all will be clear about what happened. The story is twisted in the negative way so that black man will see his fellow black man as an enemy, so that the unity that we are running after will never be achieved. And every day they will continue to take advantage of us. But at the end of this meeting, I expect each and everyone to develop his own power, to go out and speak to the people about the freedom that was given to us by nature. I'm Ashanti. My name is Kwaku. This is the queen of the Ashantis here in the Netherlands. And this is a sub-chief of the Ashantis here in the Netherlands. So a few weeks ago, we invited Glenn to come and participate in one of our ceremonies. And you heard from his own mouth how he enjoyed it. The reputation of the Ashantis is tarnished in the sense that we sold our fellow brothers and sisters during the days of the slavery. This is a blatant lie. One, who are the Ashantis? I think everybody understands what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, we.
Yes.
The assertion that the Ashantis sold each other is a blatant lie. Who are the Ashantis? The Ashantis, according to our story from our great ancestors, nobody can tell where we began or where we started, because our history is ranging from the time of the Garden of Eden before the writing of the Bible. Because the Ashantis belong to a clique of ethnical group called the Akans. And the meaning of Akan means first. So we consider ourselves to be among the Akan people, which we are. And within the Akan people, we have 7 names, which I'm going to give out. One is Oyoko. I don't know if I should, that is
Yes,
a clan,
please.
if I should
Yeah.
write it.
Yes.
One is Oyoko. 2, Abiana. 3, Asuna. 4, Britu. 5, Ekona. 6, Ashanti. 7, Asin. This, what I have written there, we consider ourselves to be not that we consider ourselves, that is what we are told. And you know, some of you who have taken the task to read the Bible, you have heard of the sons of Noah. That is Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And one of them was a black man. And that is our roots. So when we were growing and developing, in every family there are sometimes petty understandings and those things. So the people started fighting against their fellow black man. That is the colored ones. So our descendants started to migrate from Judah. From Judah, then we came to Egypt. And it is in the Bible. That's why I came with this. This is a Bible. This is not something that I've written it. This is the original African Heritage Study Bible. You can take the task to buy from anywhere and then you read it. Then you know what I'm saying. So we came to Egypt with the pyramids and all those things. And then the Greeks, Alexander the Great, like the white people talk about that they are the learned people. When Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and all those great men you think of the world came to study from us in Greek, and they saw our power, then they wanted to destroy us. So we have to move with our kings because we have now respect for our kings to protect them. So if you kill, because if you kill our king, it means you have killed the snake by cutting the head. Then we decided that, okay, if we should stay here for these people, that is Alexander the Great, and those people, they have studied to know our secret. Instead of giving us the glory, they rather want to destroy us. So let's go with our kings from this place to protect them. Then we moved from there. That is how we migrated from Judah to Egypt, to South Sudan, to come to the Mali Empire, to where we are now in Ghana. So in short, we the Ashantis, this is our origin. This is the way I can relate how we came. I'm talking about the power of the Ashantis because everywhere we go, we build empires. Because we have direct contact with God, and we think that there is no mediator between us and God, we don't accept anybody to rule us. Anybody to control us, to say that he is our master. We don't accept that in our spirit. So when we were coming at a level, the Arabs came through North Africa, that is Morocco, Tunisia. All those places were full of black people. No white person was living there. Then the Arabs came there around 300 BC. That time they started with Christianity and Muslims. They were fighting among themselves. And they were capturing each other and using him as slave. Slavery didn't start by the Ashantis, neither started in Africa. It started because of religion. And it started because of commercialization, when people wanted to use others to achieve their own goals. Slavery also started in the sense that when you are in need of something, maybe you are sick and you need somebody to heal you, and you have 3 children, and when you go to the man who could heal you from your sickness, then he will ask you, okay, I will give you the medicine. What are you going to give to me in turn? Then you tell him, okay, at that time money was not in existence. But what I will give to you is, after you have healed me from my sickness, I will give you my daughter to marry. Or I'll give you my son to serve you for 2 months or 3 months. That is what I'm using in place of payment for the healing that you have healed me from my sickness. Slavery was also in a form that by conquest, when people are warring against one another, people were held captives. And when the people are able to capture you, you also have to work for them. Because Ashantis are warriors, from day one, we always have fight among each other. People fight us, and we also fight other people, like in the world right now. So when we migrated to Mali Empire, then these Arabs were chasing us. That time the Europeans have never been to Africa, not at all. The Arabs were chasing us. Then we said that, okay, looking at the rate at which these Arabs are disturbing us with this trade, because that time we were doing butter trade. Butter trade is, Ashantis are always noted with gold. Everywhere we go with gold. Even in Netherlands here, if we start to live here in our numbers, and the blessing upon us come, gold will start to flourish here in the Netherlands. Because there is a spiritual background of the Ashantis, wherever we dwell, gold will come into the ground. And that is a natural fact. And there is a power behind that which I cannot explain right now. But eventually, if you become part of us and you come to know what I'm talking about, you will know that I'm not lying, because I came to meet it and I will die and live it. But that glory will continue to be there. And that glory belongs to all of us. So when these people started chasing us, we decided to migrate from the Mali Empire to come to where we are in Ghana right now. When we came there, then the Spanish were the first people, the first Europeans to come into the land of Africa to trade in slavery. Before the Spanish came, 100 years before, and I want you to listen to this very carefully, there was a priest, like a prophet of the Ashantis, whose name was Tuda. He gave a prophecy that 100 years to come, white people will come from the sea. And when they come, they will ruin our family. They will destroy our kingdom. And they will destroy our culture and our power. When he said that, because the people didn't believe that there is any other mighty power on earth more than we the Ashantis, and because we never believed that there is any other skin more than what we have, and no power can overrule or override what we have, the prophet was killed. Immediately he made that pronouncement. They killed him because they didn't want to hear that anybody at all could come and fight us and take our power. Years passed by. Then some of the prophets started seeing the premonitions, that is the signs that some people will come. Then we the Ashanti said that, okay, now everything is coming into reality that the people will come from the sea. If that is the issue, then we have to control the whole of the land in Ghana and all the surrounding areas whereby the sea is. So we started fighting all the people so that the white people can never step foot on the coast of the Ashantis. So we captured and ruled all the people around there. But listen, the reason why we fought and then captured the people to be under our jurisdiction, under our rule, was that we didn't want the white man to come. And we knew that those people were not warriors. They were weak people. Among the clans that I have stated, all of them, some of the Ashantis are in these clans. It can be the first one, the second one, the third one, but we all believe that we are the first people on earth. But the Ashantis are all in these clans that I've stated over there. So wherever we are, we started fighting to control the people. We came to a place in Ghana called Elmina. Elmina. Elmina was where the white people first ever came. So we captured around the sea, and they were afraid. All the people knew that if you should allow the white man to come, it will bring a problem to the Ashanti kingdom. Therefore, nobody would allow the white people to come. Still, they have found America. They needed strong people to go and work on the plantations. They started exploring, navigating all over the world to see which type of people they can bring there. Black people were not the first people to be sent to America or Haiti or Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago or any other place to work. They started with the Indians, but they saw that the Indians were not so strong to do the work, and they were not getting them in their numbers. So the Spanish, led by Don Diego de Azambuja, came to the west coast of Africa. When he came there, the people reported to the Ashantis that we have seen something on the sea coming like a ship. So we rushed to that place, and we finished the first people who wanted to set foot on the shores of Africa. They went back, and then eventually they came. I cannot relate the number of times that we fought them on the sea till they were able to come. But what I want to tell you now is, finally, the white people came, because there was a time that they sent 2,500 British people from Britain to come to the shores of Africa to fight for the Ashantis. Only the Ashantis, because we didn't want them to come. But they have changed the story to indicate that the Ashantis are rather the people who were helping them to sell slaves, because they knew that we didn't want them to come. And if they say that, there will be misunderstanding between the black people. Because the Ashantis will never have the mouth like I'm talking to you today to tell the actual truth, so that the unity that we are striving for will be achieved. When the people see the Ashantis, they will be angry. Nobody will be ready to listen. But I don't want to say either it is God or it is because of our ancestors. Fortunately today, we are here to talk about this. I want you to be happy about what I'm saying, so that the power and the confusion will be eradicated ever and ever. When they came, then they started connecting with some of the black people who were subjected to the Ashantis. Because we didn't want them to come, those people who were under the Ashantis were always afraid. So the Dutch people started promising the people in Ghana that if you come under our rule, we will help you to fight against the Ashantis. They were able to win some of the people. So some of them subjected themselves to the Dutch people. The Dutch people stayed in the coastal area for 200 years before they give the coastal area to the British. All this time, they have never had the opportunity to enter into the inner line. That is where we are. No. They couldn't. We fought the British for 7 consecutive times. We defeated them in all the fights that we had with them. One, that is the betrayal of the black man, which has cost us till today. There was a certain black man in Ghana who told the white people that the Ashantis you are fighting with, you can never defeat them. Because do you know what is a canopy? A canopy is, we the Ashanti people, we live in the inner land, so we live in the bush area. And the white people will come with the cannon. The cannon is a type of bomb that they were using to fight. But it doesn't matter how many cannons, whatever they will bring, it was to no avail. Because we have a certain type of tactics of war that the British, the Netherlands, the France, the Germans, all these people, they didn't know. So the black man told them that instead of shooting on top of the trees, because they were shooting all the bullets on top of the trees, but the Ashantis were always lying on the ground. So we wait till they finish shooting, and then we start to shoot them back. They were not the people who brought gun to us. Before they came, we had our gun. We had our munitions to fight them because we were already prepared to meet them. Till the secret was revealed to them, then they started fighting us on the ground. There was a governor from British whose name was Sir Charles McCarthy. When they started entering into the inner lands, they said that, okay, now we have gathered forces with the Fantis. Fantis are also another tribe in Ghana. They live around the coastal area. Because they were subjected to the Ashantis, they gave themselves to the white people in 1844. 1844. They gathered together that they would let the white people protect them against the Ashantis. So they started capturing the Ashantis as slaves. Listen carefully. The white people started capturing the Ashantis as slaves. And anyway they captured Ashanti as a slave, there was a big resistance. Because it was very difficult for the Ashanti man to allow himself to enter into the boat to be sent back. And then he would die instead of getting there. That was one. 2, not all the people that left the shores of Africa in diaspora went there as slaves. No. Some of them went there on agreement basis. But the white people have changed the story to indicate that whoever left the shores of Africa came there as a slave. Some of them, like here in the Netherlands, we have 2 Ashanti people who came here. That is, there is a book in Holland called the Swart with the white hats.
Yeah.
That is Kokubuache and Kwampuku.
The twins.
The twins. They came here, and Kokubuache was the one who invented the water pump machine. So when he invented the water pump machine, that time these Dutch people wanted to fight in Indonesia. So they took him there to become a mayor. And then they came to Ghana, and they said that no, These Ashantis, we cannot fight them. And if you cannot beat them, join them. Therefore, there was a Dutchman whose name was David Nyandal. That is 350 years ago. He came and he sat down with the Ashanti king and said that, upon all what we have tried, we know that we cannot defeat you people. We are taking different people from Africa to the plantations and other things, but the Ashantis are too difficult to control. Therefore, we are signing a pact with you to give us soldiers so that we could fight in Indonesia and win over there. And then we said to them that these people that you are taking away, you are taking them on basis that you are not going to enslave them, neither are you going to use them to kill their fellow black people. But before we give these people to you as soldiers, what are you going to give us in turn? Then they said, we will show you how to manufacture certain type of ammunition so that when the British come to fight you, you can fight them. And the reason why the Ashantis were doing that is that we didn't want them to take the black people from the shores of Africa. But today, everywhere you go, you hear people saying that the Ashantis contributed in slavery and they sell their fellow brother and they did this and that, which is not the cause. So I don't want to talk too much to make anybody confused here. So far I've said about the origin of the Ashantis, that our originality comes from the Garden of Eden, that is the Ashan, and that is in the Bible. I don't want to give a Bible quotations today about that. Yeah, there are a lot of Bible quotations to talk about our origin. And our origin indicates that we have direct contact with God. That is what we believe. Because our ancestors, when they have problems, which will happen when you begin to attend to our meetings, they have to sit and pray and look unto God to see the sign of the rainbow to indicate that God has listened to our prayer. And when the rainbow shows, it means that the direct contact between us and God is realized. And that is what we believe in. Okay, putting that aside, when the Europeans came and they had the control over some of the black people, as I'm saying, and they were fighting against the Ashantis, it was not easy for them. So what happened is, they took people from Togo, people from Benin, people from Nigeria, more people from India, that is the British, to fight only against the Ashantis so that they could capture us. Later on, there was a governor from Britain whose name was Sir Garnet Wolseley. Sir Garnet Wolseley realized that the power of the Ashantis is in the golden stool that we have. The unification of Ashanti rests in the stool, which we believe that it is God who gave it to us. So the white people realized that because they heard the stories from the other people and they wanted to take that golden stool from us. We fought them and fought them and fought them till they captured our king, whose name was Prempeh I. When they captured Prempeh I, they sent him to Seychelles Island. Seychelles Island is in South Africa, Madagascar, just a small island over there. And next Wednesday, our Ashanti king is going to Seychelles Island to visit the Ashantis who are living there till today. And in order for us to smoke the peace pipe, about 10 years ago, the Ashanti king came here. When he came here, there was a woman in Amsterdam, Hannah Bellot, who was indoctrinated by the Dutch to go to the king and said that the king should render apology to the people that we, the Ashantis, engaged in slavery. That was a very bad thing to come out from the mouth of the woman. But because she was under the influence of the Dutch, he was able to appear before the king and ask him to render the apology. And you cannot sing a song of praise in a foreign land. Neither can you fight if you are not ready. Because the king didn't know that he was coming to be confronted with such a question, he was compelled to say that, okay, now I'm living in a foreign land. I don't know how far these people are prepared. I didn't come to fight. I came to visit my people and to renew the treaty between me and the Dutch queen. So my last word is that, Annabelliot, if this is what you need, you go and tell your people that we are apologizing for what happened, so that you can keep the people down. When he went back to Ghana, then he called and said to us, it is time to start forming associations all over the world, to wherever the blacks are, wherever the Ashantis are, so that you will start to propagate the message to the people to know that we resisted the slavery, not that we sold anybody. Now we have formed an association here, as you see our queen and our sub-chief, called the Ashanti Heritage International Movement. It's not only located here in Holland, it's in Jamaica, Trinidad, Haiti, America, all over the world where the black people are, in Suriname, everywhere, so that you will clear the mind of the people about how the slavery came, and to also clear the image that we, the Ashantis, sold our fellow brothers. What I have said so far, if there is any question that anybody wants to know, he can ask, then I will continue from there. But the last statement is that the Ashantis didn't sell our fellow brothers into slavery. There were wars, which I can never deny. Since generation, since creation, always there are wars. And people have captives to serve them, like in terms of maybe sickness or other things which was happening. But when the white people were using the other fellow black people from other countries to fight against the Ashantis, then the Ashantis captured some of the black people, which I'm not going to deny to you, and said that if you want to arrest me and give me back to the people, then I'm capturing you here. When they come and they want to take my son, then I will give you to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Not that the Ashantis helped anyway in the slavery. If there is any question that is not clear, you can ask me and I'll answer, then I'll continue again.
Is het wat om eerst te posteren en dan daarna vragen te stellen en dan helemaal erop in te gaan? Of willen jullie nu al vragen stellen?
Yes, I have a question.
Ja.
Dat wil stellen?
Wat zeg je?
Ik heb een vraag. Dus
Ja, dus jullie kunnen vragen stellen.
Depends on them.
Wat-
Depends on them if they want it or no or no.
Yeah,
ja.
ask any question, please.
Oké, nou, start dan weer.
I have read in books, and of course, yeah, well, it was in your book, Judy. That in Africa it was quite normal for instance, if you had a debt, if you owed people money, to say, okay, I'll be your slave for so long time, till the debt is. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. I think I said it earlier on. If you need money and you come to me, then I borrow you money. Then you can say, okay, I'll give my daughter to you to serve you till the time is ended. But don't forget, when the white people found America, the British themselves, they were using a lot of the British to serve them there. When you serve after the period, maybe 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, then you are free. Then you can go.
Yeah,
This was happening in Africa also. That is true.
Yes.
It was happening like that. Even not long time ago, it was still even happening. If you owe somebody and there's nothing that you can do to pay, you can go in terms and say that, okay, I'm going to labor for you for this period as terms of payment. So that was happening in Africa.
Yes, and you also said that Ashantis were warriors, so they were fighting a lot and they were taking prisoners of war?
They were taking prisoners of war, correct. Because, empires move and empires come. The Ashantis are not the only empire that have been in existence. We have been the Songhai Empire, the Mali Empire, we have been a lot of warriors, the Sumanguru Kante, Askia Mohammed, and all these things were all warriors. So they wanted to capture us as the Ashantis, and then we also resisted. There were times that we were also even defeated by other empires. It happened.
Yes.
Yeah, but sometimes you also defeat some of the empires.
And when you took prisoners of war, they were like slaves for the Ashanti?
No, the sort of prisoners of war that Ashantis took is the prisoners of war were allowed to marry our daughters and our cousins and our nieces. So if you want somebody to marry from your family, are you going to maltreat that person? No. And even till today, if you go to Ghana, till this very day as I'm talking, if you go to Kumasi now, there are a lot of people who will come because Ashanti, we are hardworking people. We believe in money, but we don't believe in money in stealing from other people, but we believe in hard work to amass wealth. So when somebody sees that you have a lot of money in your home, he will come and stay with you, and then he will work for you and you pay him. This is not slavery. The person will voluntarily come and say that I know you have a lot of work, have me work to do, and then you give me money. And then before you know, that person will be married to your daughter, will be married to your son. So this is not a form of slavery as the white people are portraying.
If it was not the Ashanti, who did? Who did it? Who sold Africans to Europeans to do slave labor in America, the Caribbean?
Okay, that's question. The first three things that I want to talk about slavery is the white people came with three tricks. The first one was alcohol. The second one was the Bible. And the third one was the gun. When they came initially, there was a form of trade, that is barter trade. They will put sugar here, and then you also put your gold, or maybe what you have. When they come and they see that the gold that you have put there is equivalent to the sweet or anything, the gun or anything that they put there, they will take what you have put there, and when you also come back, then you take what they have placed. Nobody was seeing anybody physically like this to enter into the trade. Then it came a time that there was, I'm coming to your question.
I know.
Then there was a good time for the people to meet, to interact, and talk about business. Don't forget that when the white people came, they have found America. So their purpose of coming to Africa was to take people from Africa to go to the plantation so that they will go and work for them. So they came with a purpose. When they came and the Ashantis resisted, that okay, you can take the people from the coastal area because they are weak. Already they are taking a lot of people from the coastal area because they were able to trick them. They said that okay, get this toffee, you get this toffee and you eat and you are happy. They give you something to put on like a spectacle. They put it on. They show you mirror. Then you see your face. You are happy. Before you know, you are in the boat, and they are bringing you to the plantations. They bring sugar. You take the sugar, and they say, "Oh, let's go to the." You have a lot of the sugar in the boat. Then you go and you started transporting. Then before you know, you go to the point of no return, where you will never have the chance to come back. Before you know, you are already sent there. These stories, the white people don't talk about it. When they needed more, the Spanish started. The Spanish were not strong. When the British people realized that they had a large portion of land in America and they need the people in their numbers, they wanted more people. So these people that they were tricking with sugar and mirror and all those things were not much. They needed the people in their numbers. Then they started capturing by force. We have pictures. If you go to the internet, then you put the slavery, you will see a long rope of people who they have tied the ropes on their neck like this, and one white man will follow with gun, and the other white man will be at the back, and one will have a big axe, so that if you are weak, they will hit you with it. That was not black people who were doing that, the white people themselves. To prove this, some of the Suriname people, some of the Jamaicans, some of the people from Trinidad and Tobago who wanted to know the truth have made a trip to Ghana, to Africa, to see the truth about all these things. But most of the people are still living in the diaspora, and they don't want to come back home and research to know the truth about this. So back to your question, there were wars. Some of them were taken as captives, prisoners of war. So those people who were taken as captives and prisoners of war, the white people, because their mission of coming to Africa was to bring people to the plantations, made agreement with some of the black people to capture their own blacks and give it to them to send to the plantations. That is one. I will never dispute that. Why? If you go to countries like Sierra Leone, like Ivory Coast, all the French-speaking countries, they had a system of ruling called assimilation. Assimilation is the people were ruling them directly from France. So anything that anybody could say in these French-speaking countries came directly from France. It was only in Ghana and Nigeria where we have indirect rule, because the Ashantis resisted the white people that we are not going to allow you to rule us. So they said that, okay, if you are not going to allow us to rule you, then we will rule your people through you. So we have indirect rule. Are you listening to what I'm saying? Because the white people couldn't defeat the Ashantis, then they rule the people in the West Coast through the kings, because they saw that they can never destroy our monarchy. If they were able to destroy our monarchy, you will never see this woman sitting here in this clothes. You will never see this man. This was not made by a white man. This was made by us. This is kente.
Kente.
This is our native cloth. We made it ourselves. So, yes, this is what she has also. When we were traveling, we came with our culture and everything. So we maintain our dignity. So if you ask me that how did the people get to the plantations over there if the white people didn't buy them from the
not from Ashanti.
From the Ashanti.
From which Ghanaian nation the white people bought the Africans to be sold as slaves? That is my question, brother. You know, when you are in Ghana, you go to Tamale, there is a slave route. There's a slave route in Benin, there is a slave route in Togo. There's also one, Tamale, Salaga. Proof that it's a slave route. This is history, brother.
Yes.
We are not joking. This is, please,
okay.
Give me the occasion. This is history.
Yeah.
We are talking about history. We are not joking.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
When you visit Ghana,
Yeah.
the president, something to tell you.
Yeah.
The president of Ghana,
Yeah.
1997,
Yeah.
Flight Lieutenant Rawlings,
Yeah.
he has made apologies to Africans from the diaspora
Yeah.
in Ghana.
That.
In Asen Manso, the president has give apologies to us. We were there. That means that he admitted that Ghana has a role in the slave trade.
But I think so far.
And also they made the Asen Manso the memory place.
Yeah.
Brother, we are not joking.
No, no.
We are talking serious.
Asen Manso.
Yeah,
that is true. But
okay.
But let me tell you, Asen Manso is not in Ashanti region.
No, it is not in Ashanti region.
And two, another two places, Kromante and Abase.
Yeah.
When the Suriname people talk about Kromante, Kromante also is not in Ashanti region.
No, it is not.
It's in the coastal area.
I know.
Okay. If the Ashantis were the people who were selling the slaves, the trade marketing center should have been in Ashanti region. But all these trade marketing centers you are talking about, they are all outside Ashanti. They're not the Salaga people you are talking about. That is the Dodi. That is not. There is no. Have you ever heard of a slave marketing center in Ashanti region?
No, there is not. But please answer my question. Who did?
Okay.
Okay. I know. I propose you know the history of your country.
Yes.
If it was not Ashanti,
yes.
Tell me who did it.
Correct. Then we come to 2 points: the partition and the scramble of Africa. Now, the reason why they have all these slave routes is that when the white people knew that the Ashantis were too strong for them to rule, and they could capture other people who were not strong as the Ashantis, they penetrated and they made their slave routes to these places that this woman is talking about. She cannot prove to any of you here that there is ever a slave route in Ashanti region, not one, because the people couldn't penetrate there. No. So where they could penetrate, that was where they made their slave lines, and they were capturing the people over there. They were using the people against each other. Like I was saying, this comes the partition of Africa. The partition of Africa is when the white people came and they realized that certain people of the Africans were weak, so they could penetrate them. Then the France will run and put his flag here and say this place is called Togo. They will run and say this place is called Burkina Faso. This place is called Nigeria. This place, they partitioned it and they started scrambling. The scrambling is taking all the good things that they could find on the land. Could you ever tell me that there was once an European who could scramble from the Ashanti land? No, because we were so united till this very day, as I'm saying, and because the prophet gave the prophecy that if we allow them to come, they will ruin our family and will they will destroy the empire and our power. We didn't allow them. All these people who were captured, as she's saying, with these slaves, the white people wanted to use them against the Ashantis so that they could capture us. Yes, some of the Ashantis were taken as slaves, because if I am alone and 10 people together with the white people come to our house, they could capture us. Some of the Ashantis were also captured as slaves. In my own home, my great-grandfathers have made it to understand that some of our great-grandmen were going out into the bush, they were captured. In Ashanti land, there are a lot of homes that we still have the story about most Ashantis who were captured by the white men because other black people were helping them to capture us. Till 1901, when there was a woman in Ashanti land called Yasantua, when they wanted to capture our king, then Yasantua rose up and I said that no, even if the men are not going to fight, I am a woman, I'm going to fight against them. Was it not the Ashanti woman who stood to fight against the Europeans? Which woman, which tribe in Africa have you ever heard a woman who stood against the Europeans?
Yes, Queen Nzinga from Angola.
Queen Nzinga from
That's not Angola. Nzinga, yeah.
Yes, correct. But the story of Yasantua is recognized and known more than what you are talking about. I'm saying about what I know. Because now you wanted to tell me that I have to admit that we the Ashanti sold the slaves, which is not.
I don't ask you to admit.
And you say we are not joking.
I asked you
You say who? And you are not joking. If you say you are not, and then which group?
Yes.
And the group is what I'm saying, that the group of people that did that were those ones who allowed themselves to be influenced by the white man. And she went on to say that Rawlins rendered apology about the slavery. Rawlins is not an Ashanti. Rawlins is an Ewe. Rawlins belong to the type of people who were against the Ashantis till this very day because of our paramountcy.
But he was at that time paramount.
When he came to power, when Rawlins came to power, because from history they wanted to bring down the power of the Ashanti, he killed all the great men in the Ashanti because they wanted to bring us down. You understand?
But at that time, Rawlins was the head of state.
Correct.
And I just said it was the head.
Yeah, he came with the coup d'etat. But
that is internal political. That is an internal political question.
Well, it could make a difference. It could make a difference.
Yeah.
And why he apologized?
Yeah.
Did he
make
want
a difference?
Did he want to hurt the name of the Ashantis?
yes, because
he's Ewe?
listen.
He has not called nobody's name.
You may see somebody
Conquer and divide,
speaking,
something like that.
Ashanti language.
Conquer and divide.
We call Akan people.
Yeah,
The role in that
this
is-
name that we have written, we all speak the same language. And the Ashanti, the tree, the Ashantis are also in all these type of names that I have written. So whenever they hear somebody speaking the language, they think that he is an Ashanti. But not all of them are Ashantis. Correct question.
Okay. You mentioned Mrs. The mayor. She was not a mayor. Mrs. Annabel Elliot.
Yeah.
You see, she was under the influence of the Dutch.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm stirred up for her, but a lot of our people, and not Suriname people alone, a lot of African people in the diaspora is talking about the Ashanti.
Yeah.
I find it on the one side very sad that, but it's never too late what you are doing now here.
Yeah.
This should have happened earlier, but it's never too late. But this should not happen on this level. It should happen on a higher level.
Yeah.
from the real king of the Ashanti.
Yeah.
And this what you're talking about should go in the book. Also the Dutch, because the Dutch also is keeping this going and is continuing in our society, also to the youth.
Yeah.
I notice a lot of Dutch people you're doing business with are going till now to Ghana.
Yeah.
And a lot of our black people, African people, Ghanaian everywhere, we too, Suriname people, Antillean people, we should work on our condescending mentality towards the white people.
Yeah.
Yeah? Because when the white people go there, make a program, when they come back, they continue this history, this falsification. It's going that black people were selling each other. I'm not here to defend the Ashanti or Mrs. Belliot, but we have a lot of homework to do.
Yes, correct.
When I talk like this, people think you don't like white people or you don't like this. It has nothing to do with this.
No.
We should stand up and work on ourselves and our history, and especially to our children.
Yeah.
That we come back to each other. I mention this because you say Annabelle Yot. We are all African people, our ancestors.
Yeah.
You see, she's under the influence of the Dutch. Not she alone, a lot of us. And this should.
But it is remarkable that she never asked the excuses of the king here or the queen.
The reason why I said that is that, you know, when you take a coin, and if you take €1, and you look at the other side and say, oh, here is beautiful, you must look at the other side also to judge. Because Hannah Belliot, she was the mouthpiece of the black people here. Unfortunately, she was a black woman. So instead of asking the queen to apologize, she should have waited to also hear our story also. Then that she could be as a mediator. Because Hannah Belliot could have used her position to make a lot of things very clear. But the moment she asked the king to apologize, it means that we are at fault. And from that day on, I was in the Burma, and a lot of fights started going on at the Burma because of the question that Hannah Belliot asked the king. And also, it is good somehow, that is today you have made mention of it. That is why we have formed the Ashanti International Movement.
Yes, it's very
so
good.
That,
it's very good.
So that when you come, as you said that you have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
We have a lot of work to do.
And inform each other.
Yeah, the pain that is in us. I want to ask you a question. When somebody says that the black people sell their fellow brothers, if you are a mother and a father and you have 4 children,
yes,
and 2 of them are taken away to a land that you don't know, everybody has feeling for his children or her children.
Of course.
And then 2 of your children are taken away. You don't know where they are taking them to. Either they are going to die or not. As a mother in Africa, will you cry or you will not cry?
Of course you will cry. I'm a mother too.
Okay. And the brothers, the 2 brothers who have lost their sisters and brothers also in Ghana, will they cry or they will not cry?
Of course they will cry.
But if you meet the people in diaspora, some of them behave like we in Africa don't care about them, or we don't feel the pain of the slavery. You are home. You know that your brother sleep in this room, your sister sleep in that room, and tomorrow she is no more, he or she is no more there. The room is just there.
Painful.
Whenever you see that room, won't you cry?
Of course.
We are crying till now, and even the pain that we have in Africa is more than the pain I see in the people that I see here. I'm telling you today, when we are in Africa, there are a lot of us who never travel to Europe because of the slavery. Never. They will prefer to stay in Africa and die. Most of us, when they go to school and they hear the story of slavery, they become angry so much. There are a lot of black people who are smoking weed till death because of slavery when they hear about reggae music. And they hear they took us away from Africa. They hear about the work of the plantations. They hear about the maltreatment of the white man against the slavery. Some of us go mad to this very day. The greatest day that I became so disappointed in my life was when I came here in 1994. And I met a Rasta man who was an Antillean. I asked him a question and he said, get out. Because I was smoking weed in Ghana, crying every day that my brothers and sisters are living somewhere. When I came to Holland and I saw them, I heard the music that they were playing. I felt the spirit. I rushed to him. He told me, go away. I said, ah? So all this crying, all these pains that we are going through, the unity is still not there. So if you say that we have a work to do, my sister, is not only talking with your mouth.
Yeah.
It's
Act
a
on it.
hard work that
Yeah.
we have to do.
We have to act on it, and it starts in the home. But school also in this system is keeping this lie going. But I mentioned Mrs. Belliot. I don't want to stick too long with this, because she says she have to apologize.
To the king here or to the...
Ask the
No,
king for
they
apologies.
both- Listen, that means she has to do her homework first, because if the king apologizes, that means you admit.
Yeah.
We have to inform each other the history. You cannot admit if you don't do something.
No, but I think I told you that.
Yeah.
You know, our king.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm proud to tell you that Ashanti king never apologizes. It doesn't matter what, then you can kill him. But he didn't come here to war, to fight.
No, of
He
course
came here on a visit. It was the Netherlands queen who invited him to come here. So when Hannah Bellot was given the opportunity to appear before him, and then she asked him that question at that time, and he didn't want to prove stubborn, he said that then Hannah Bellot surrendered the apology, not from his mouth that he's saying that and apologizing for the slavery. Because till today, we are not afraid of the white people, never, and it will never happen. I'm sitting here in Netherlands, and I don't care about anything because we are not afraid of them.
That's why I'm proud of the Ashanti.
Yes, because we know them, that they only come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. We know them. And we also know them, that they only come with tricks, which we know already. We are here to unite and to take our people back home. Now, Otunfo, that is the Ashanti king, have given a big portion of land to all people in diaspora, that whoever will come, build your house, live there with us. I told you that he is leaving for Seychelles Island on Wednesday, because now he's building, now he has bought a very big machine in Britain, and then sooner or later you also hear us here in the Netherlands, that is the Ashantis, because we want the people to understand that we didn't do that. And that is why we have started with this Ashanti Heritage International Movement.
Very good.
So when you come, this is a breaking point, a starting point, to clarify, to explain, so that the pain will be moved away. But one important thing is, you can never cry over spilled milk because it's already gone. Okay, the bad part of it all is that our ancestors have been killed. Fine. We the living, what are we doing about it? How are we going to develop the mentality of our children that the white people continue to tell them to build prisons? Instead of putting them into education to have future, they only tell them bad side of life. So that before you know, you are incriminated, you can never develop. Now, we want to know the next 10 years, how many Suriname children will become doctors and lawyers and architects and accountants? How many interior children will become lawyers and doctors and engineers? This is the reason why we are forming this Ashanti Heritage here. Because the bad side of the story that they keep telling is to bring the children down. They are attacking the future of the children. So now come together and then let us be one and say that enough is enough. Fortunately, the black people, if all of us have been dumped in Africa, what could we have done? We wouldn't have access to any part of the world. Fortunately, now we can say Jamaica belongs to the black people. America, we are there. Holland, we are here. We are all over. So it's not also so good only to think about the pain. When your son is sick and dying and you send the son to the hospital and the doctor said, I'm going to operate on the child. You know that the doctor is going to open the stomach of the child. But you allow the doctor to open the stomach of the child because you know that after that, when it is successful, the child will be much more healthier and then he can walk and walk away from the pain. So the pain is enough for us to let the pain go and then use the life that you have.
But I respond on that. Of course, we have to think.
Heal gradually.
Heal, but
gradually.
But you can't let go by. No, you have to talk about it. It's both sides homework for us, for the diaspora and for the African.
But the reason why I'm saying this, I think before we leave, each and every one of us here we should have an assignment. The assignment is not to keep what you have fed or done here in your mind, but to go and tell the story to other people. But if you are preaching, there are some people who will attack you because the pain in them is too much. But at the aftermath of your preaching is that let them know that please, let us try to submit the pain and then look into the future so that the next 100 years, if the white people should say, because I told you that it was Kwambuachi who invented the water pump machine here in the Netherlands, and now it's all over the world. But they don't talk about it. And then Hermon, the cloth also, it was he. But they never tell you that the scientists came here to because we made it this. They never say to anybody that we invented all these clothes. They never talk about it. They never say that we made the traffic light. They never talk about any invention of the black man. They only want to portray us as useless people.
But we should do that, like the man you say who invented the water pump. We black people should do those things and teach our children.
Yes. So
our things. They will not do that. They will always try to play us against each other.
That's why
And that's why we should stop that kind of things. And what I say is never too late to bring this outside, the real truth about the Ashanti. To tell you the truth, I never believed that.
Yeah.
I never believed that of course you have some weak people.
Yeah.
The one people is not the other.
Yeah.
You know that some people will surrender and sell themselves very easy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it is the black people who invented slavery.
No.
The same thing you were telling, it is not new for me.
Yeah.
I never believed that.
Yeah, okay.
You know, but it's good that it's come from, that's what you were doing, is very good from the Ashanti themselves and others. We should stand up and write our own history.
Yeah.
Stop these white people and stop looking against them. You know, I don't mean look down on them.
No.
I never say that on the radio too.
Yeah.
You know, but we should power our children because we have a lot of problems.
A lot.
And we should stop that.
A lot, because the problems we have is, if like the way, look at me, I'm just a lanky and slim person. So if I'm dancing, I can dance like this. But the black people always want to dance like the way the white people are dancing. Yeah. How can you dance like them?
It's not our culture. It's not our culture.
It's not our culture. You know, so that is why Benny Spears said, keep your culture, don't be afraid of the vulture.
Got to write that down.
You know,
Keep your culture.
But I think I asked enough maybe.
You know, keep your culture. Don't be afraid of the voice. So live up. The little that you have, be content with it. But if today they make this, look at the way we are running after them. They will make this pen. The next 3 months, they will make that pen. When they make this photo machine,
Camera.
next year this one will be out of the system. New one will come. And when black people buy it, I feel good because I've bought from the white man. I'm the best.
Yeah.
You know, what have you done yourself?
Shall we hold a little pause? Then we can buy something to eat, the bread that my daughter has brought here.
Yeah.
And then after 50 minutes we can sit down here.
15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
People believe it. You know, even they marry a black woman or a black man, a white man should never become king.
Never.
Should never become king on that ground, on mother ground.
You know, they have development queens and development queens mothers, most of them, just for the cash flow for the yes.
Yeah.
Dat is het dan voor
Ceremonial kings.
Yes.
Ceremonial kings.
Oh,
So that
ceremonial
they will
kings
build.
They have
They will
ceremonial.
give money.
Because you know they don't have culture. You know they don't have culture.
I know. That's
So when
people.
we say they are kings and we crown them, then they are happy. Then they bring schools and those things.
Yeah.
But still,
Development.
Still.
That I want.
Development kings en queens, dat zijn ze.
Ja.
Ja.
hey,
En ze moeten echt iets doen hoor, ze nemen de
En straks
opzet.
krijgen we Surinaamse queen en king.
Er was toch al een Surinaamse vrouw?
Diaspora, black
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
Koningin
white people.
gekend.
They should not become king and queen there. Even they marry a black woman.
never.
They should never become king on that
No.
ground. The way they enter, kill people, have
Yeah,
blood
with a
on
trick.
their hands.
Yeah.
You know, but the chiefs and the paramount chiefs, they make the decisions, and the queen mothers.
Yeah.
They make the decisions to make somebody a development
That's
queen
why
mother
I'm talking
or
with the
king.
Ashanti people here
Hier in
and
de
the
diaspora.
Yeah.
black people.
Oh, seriously, what you want only
Don't
from
get
the
that,
diaspora.
For the diaspora.
Talk that
That means we have to have a lot of money to be a ceremonial king or queen. Because we have to bring development to the country.
Yeah, and we will get
the
development
village.
too. That is you saying that our children can become doctors.
Yeah.
What are you telling? You
But
laughing me?
I'm happy
But
that you are cognizant with you are
you laughing me?
updated
What did you say?
with the system and
Yeah,
whatever
Ashanti
is
people
going on. That is
problem.
very good. Which means you have a
That
big role
problem.
to
We
play.
all have problem. We too.
Because what they are bringing them every day. Every day.
Go to Ghana,
So don't
the
just
fund
bring
people
them.
tell
When you
them
bring them also, then
lies.
talk to them.
But the fund
Let them
people
marry
there
in
and
Ghana.
the people
Let them also marry.
making trade
The
with the
Ghanaians
white
also
people.
marry those people that
But
They
they
have a
don't
lot
lie.
of
so that when you
children
start
with
producing
their
the
white
children,
men.
Yeah.
the children,
They
they
will
will
raise
solve the
them, but
problem
they
also.
put the problem on. Ashanti people, we don't have a light skin.
Light skin problem.
No, we don't have light skin children.
Mm-hmm.
We are all blacks. But the coastal area, go there, you will see Van Dyke.
Oh, dat Van Dijk van Buren. Van Dijk van Buren, nee echt.
Echt waar.
Dat vooral Elmina.
Maar in Ashanti
Ja.
niet.
Je hebt bij
Dat moet je
Elmina.
geloven.
Je hebt bij Elmina zelf als Dutch, je hebt een Hollandse begraafplaats daar.
Ja.
Elmina,
Ja, ze
de
lieten
Dutch
het zien wie
cemetery.
daar overleden zijn, die
we
mensen.
the
toch?
Ashanti people, they don't want the white skin.
Van de veel,
In our family.
weet het veel, heel veel Nederlandse naam in die kost.
But we name them. We the Ashanti people name them Bruni.
Bruni.
Bruni means somebody who is treacherous.
Treacherous?
Somebody who is very weak in mentality, who will
Wicked
only come,
abroad.
who will only come and destroy. He only comes to destroy. That is the
Yeah.
meaning of Bruni.
Abroni.
Abro. Which means he only comes to destroy.
Bad person.
Yeah, but it's
Wicked.
true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Ja.
But will you ever work with somebody that you say that is wicked?
No, of course not.
But now they have changed it to indicate that we rather have them. But
Yeah.
before, we named them. When we saw them, say this is Bruni, this is wicked man. Never get together with this man. Every day we are ringing this bell. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Eh?
To these days.
Yeah, precies.
Yeah, a lot of black men were killed in Ashanti region by white men because we didn't like them.
We kept fighting back. Eh? They kill us like ants. But those days you need not to talk.
Yeah.
When they kill one Ashanti, 10,000 will rise.
Yeah. Come up, baba.
That's our motto. Yes.
That is our motto. You know why? Because we have certain type of warfare. Which they why did you know? Because when they are coming, they come with the whole of their battalions.
Even kijken hoeveel klein gat ik nog heb.
Yeah.
Volgens mij heb ik niet zoveel meer.
They come with the whole of their battalions. If they bring 2,500 people from British, they all move together. Then the Ashantis will kill them.
If you kill
But the Ashantis will take 10,000 battalions.
Heb je één?
we fight.
And the 10,000 will waiting behind. And maybe you have,
Dat is wat het mij
if you have 60,000, 10. So when they kill 10,000, another 10,000 will come. That is our motto.
Ja.
Mali,
Eh?
Hey,
Niger,
I'm a
and
Ashanti.
Nigeria. They are
I'm a
people try to
Ashanti.
kill the Ashanti people.
I know that.
Nigeria people.
Dus daarom, nou, nu begrijp je waarom ik zo van het team
Niger
ben, hè?
people. So they are all-
Ik heb een goede smoes, ik kan er niks aan doen.
That's why they say.
Het zit in mijn DNA.
You kill thousand people.
That is a nice
The
saying.
history is nice.
Friend, go to
We
the
have a
Mali.
very
That is
rich
our
culture
motto.
too.
Let's go.
We,
that book? Could you please show me?
That's true.
yeah. We never give up, because if you kill 1,000, another 1,000 will come.
It is all the story you told me. It is in the Bible.
You can also use
Read the Ashanti people. Write
So
the
this is a
Bible.
good Bible.
Oh, ja,
One
dat
of
is
the
really
people. I'll show you.
Ik hoop het voor je.
Ik heb 10 krentenbollen.
Yeah, this is the first Bible. In this Bible.
Also, SBN number, and then
Yes, let me write that down. Yeah, that but brother Kwaku, this,
give you
Yeah.
example I was talking about.
Yeah.
He was saying.
Okay.
yeah.
All these books there, it's a black writer. Look, he's sitting
It's
there.
there.
Oh.
It's that man.
He's writing the right story of
Writers
Africa.
about Africa. Oh,
The other side,
Ja, dat is wel een vraag. Maar jij vragen? Ben je een beetje verlegen?
The example I will
Oké,
give you.
goed.
Oké, nou we gaan weer verder. We gaan, dus er zijn vragen, maar misschien dat Kwaku nog iets kan vertellen. En dat mensen verder op in kunnen gaan. Ik heb bijvoorbeeld een vraag. Er is veel verzet geweest van het hele Caribische gebied in de US. En Kwaku, ik had een gesprek hierover met Kwaku. Kwaku zegt, nou veel van het verzet komt vanuit de Ashanti. Oké, maar misschien kan hij daarover vertellen.
What he's saying so far is the similarities. How you can identify that in Jamaica, the Ashantis who were, because here I want you to understand that the Ashantis were also captured as slaves in diaspora. Everywhere there are slaves, the Ashantis are also there. But how we are able to identify that these are the Ashantis in Caribbean, in Jamaica, in Haiti, in Holland, in Suriname is what I'm coming to talk about now. And that is the reason why also we have formed Ashanti Heritage International Movement. Because we have been able to identify that when we go to Jamaica, we will get the Ashantis. When we go to Haiti, we will get the Ashantis. When we go to Trinidad and Tobago, we will get the Ashantis. When we go to Suriname, we will get the Ashantis. And this is how we are able to identify them. Every country that the Ashantis are, even if in Suriname, the Ashantis don't allow to live in the cities where the white people have built and to be proud of the identification of the white men. The Ashantis don't like that. So if you go to Suriname, which I will go the end of this year, those Ashantis who have done the exploration find the Ashantis mostly in the bush. They never want to come in conformity with the white people to live in Paramaribo and to feel big. Because mostly what we have seen from most of the Surinams here is that those people who are living in Paramaribo, they feel that they are better than those people who are living in the bush. But when I go to Suriname, I know that where I can find the Ashantis is to go into the bush over there. When you go to Trinidad and Tobago, where you can find the Ashantis is in the bush. When you go to Haiti, where you can find the Ashantis is in the bush. And these are some of the similarities which will help you also to find that these people are from the Ashantis. They talk too much. Ashantis talk too much.
Ik ben Ashanti. Ik heb net gezegd, I'm talk too much, I know.
Ashantis always have big mouth.
Klopt, right.
And Ashantis doesn't want to accept situation anyhow. They want to find why, how, who, when.
I feel so proud now.
Yeah, that is Ashantis. And Ashantis also don't believe in hearsays. They want to see with their eyes to believe. And they always want to be first there to tell the story.
Yeah.
So everywhere we go, when we started identifying these spirits in the people, then we know that these people, this person is where an Ashanti. Even here in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, everywhere, when one Ashanti man is living, you will know. Because instead of kowtowing to the white man, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, he will never do that. You know. And again, the Ashantis are also people who believe in wealth. So if you go to Suriname, those people who are living in the bush, they believe in gold. They also want to get closer to where they can find something that they can keep years after to come. It's not like I get it today and I spend it, because we know that money is power. Not money is power that you have to steal. We believe in hard work to earn a good living, because poverty is painful, and poverty is also a system of slavery to yourself, and we also revolt against that. So in conclusion, what I'm saying now is, please, this is just a shallow explanation that I'm giving about all this. When we come together and we form the Ashanti Heritage International Movement, there are a lot of questions that people need to ask and a lot of answers to be given. We want to build a website, and there you can ask any question at all. That, okay, how, when, who is responsible for this? When you put that question there, then immediately the answers will be given. Or we can invite you to come and they will sit and talk about it. Again, what I want to say about the Ashantis is that when you go to America, you know, they took most of us to Louisiana and all those people. Now, those Ashantis who were in the slavery, they are reaching heights because they have seen that if education is the key, we need to learn. We cannot just say that, okay, the white people took us as slaves, so we must live on the little money that they will give to us and live like that. No. We also want to be architects of our own destiny in our hands. So these are some of the things that we also need to preach to the people, that though it is gone, it is still in existence, but we have to work harder, then we can move forward. Like now, you are telling me that this man have written all these books.
And more.
And more.
Oh, yes.
And he's even taking this coverage. This is the spirit that we want to see in people. He could also have been moving, drinking and smoking and relaxing and thinking about the pain. But he said, no, let's move forward. You know, so I entreat and urge each and every one of us here today, at least to take advantage of this table and move like this man. So that the next 10 years, the white people will never see us moving and they say that, oh, look at them. They don't have any future, they don't have anything to do. So the identification of the Ashantis everywhere you go is just like what this man is doing. I see the Ashanti spirit in him. I don't have any more thing to talk. But all what I can say now is that the Ashanti Heritage International Movement is a new formation where we need help. The help that we need is building of websites and how we can televise our programs on television for other people to see what we are doing. Like this lady, I'm a poet. I write a lot of poems. So if you come, I will write a poem for you, and then you can stand on the television and recite the poem so that people will hear and digest what I have written, and they will know that, oh, many years ago our great-grandfathers left the shores of Africa. Where are they? Come, come, come. And then we will form one united front. I've ended my speech.
Thank you.
And finally, I want to talk about the culture of the Ashantis. I think this is our way of life, because culture is the way of life of the people. Our culture is when a girl is born, a lady, you know, and she is growing, we know that we have to prepare the woman for marriage. Because when the woman goes to marriage and she is not able to do good things and she is sent back home, it is a disgrace to the whole family. So you have to prepare the woman in a nice way. How do we prepare a woman for marriage? When she reaches her puberty age, we tell her how she has to manage herself and do nice things for herself to look beautiful, to be admirable to the men. It is a taboo that you are not married and you go and live with a man. Even if you become pregnant, you can be ostracized. We will take you away. So when you reach the poverty age, we will take you to the queen of the land in which you are living, for the queen to inspect you and see that truly you have never slept with any man. Then the queen will say, okay, good. you have been able to prove that you come from good home, you are well trained. From today, you have the right to have a man in your life. When the girl comes home, then it is the responsibility of the father and the mother to prepare her. How do they prepare her? Then they start to buy her nice clothes and nice things. And before a man can come and ask the hand of the woman for marriage, she will look at your character, the way you speak, the way you dress, if you are hardworking, if you know how to find money, if you know how to do good things. And it is not the duty of the man to go directly to the house of the woman and say that this, no. The man will first say it to his father, and the father will also sit down and look to the family of the girl. If there is a sort of sickness, if they are hardworking, if they have problems or no problems, and then they will decide that, okay, it is necessary for my son to marry from this home. If all these things are done, then they fix a date, and they will dress the girl like the way this queen, our queen, is dressed, and they will put her on the public place. So the man will come and dance around all those places to have a look at the woman. So who is interested will go and pass through the right channel and solicit love from that girl. The reason why they do that is they want to know if the man is a responsible man who can take care of the woman. They want to know if the man is somebody who is not a criminal, that he will give birth to the child today and tomorrow you will not find him. They want to know if the man is somebody who is not coming to steal from them to disgrace the family of the girl and the children. So after all these things are done, then they will make a day for the marriage. And then that is one about marriage in Ashanti culture. About our funeral, we believe that the dead lives. We believe in the spirit of the dead people. So when somebody dies, we know that he is going to the ancestral world. So before we bury the person, we perform rituals and talk to the dead body that when he is gone, he should come back and bless the living with this or with that. If there are some calamities or a lot of misfortunes in the house, we will talk to the dead body to take all those things away. About inheritance, when somebody dies, then he can pinpoint who should inherit him. And the inheritance will come from the blood lineage. We Ashantis believe in matrilineal system of inheritance from the mother side. We don't inherit from the father side. These are the similarities proving the Jewish lineage of the Ashantis. We have a culture to prove that we are Jews. People have changed the story in a lot of ways, but we know that we are Jews. That is why I said that we have direct contact with God because of what we do, not because of Christianity and all these churches, mushroom churches where people are talking about spiritism and lying and looking for money. But we believe direct contact with God in the sense that in the olden days when we have problems, there is a tree we call Nyamibia. That is God's tree. We will put the tree like this and put calabash. But we only cut the Nyamibia with 3 branches. Then we put the calabash on top of it and we take water directly from heaven in the calabash. So if there is any calamity like death or sicknesses or anything, the people will go and sit under the tree and recite incantations to the Most High God. And they could do that, and you see the rainbow as a sign, and they will say that which means they are looking through the heavens to to see through the rainbow what the Lord is going to do for them. And as we are sitting here today, we the Ashantis have a proverb saying that that if you do good, you don't ask your head. Because as we are sitting here, if somebody comes and he says that we are talking about the king, we can say no, and anybody here can say no because we are not talking about the king. But if you are talking about the king and they come and ask you, why are you talking about another than king? You say, oh, no, we are not talking about the king. It means you are lying. Which means if you don't lie, no fudu, no winti, no obia, nothing can harm you. So we believe in righteousness, that if you are righteous, you are never afraid of where you are going. And we also believe that the truth can lead you to death, because we say that nukure editu, which means that if you mean to speak the truth, a lot of people will not like it, but still we maintain the truth, because it is only the truth that can set you free.
Ashe.
Is all that written in the Bible that you said?
This is written in the Bible, but this is not what I'm saying. It's not about what is written. This is what we and all the Bible you are talking about, because our ancestors believe that we are the first people on earth. Anything that you can read in the Bible is related to our culture. But today is too early to talk about those things. Even the prophecy, I'm telling you that 100 years our prophet said that the white person will come. All those things are written in the Bible. But it is too early to talk about that. When the website is established, and because this is an emancipation group that we want to identify the black power, you know, when we come together, then we start to talk about the spiritual part of us, and then how we can be together, and then when we unite, then you see all the changes. Why they were not able to defeat us, the reason why some of us who are maintaining the lines can feel the same power even after death. Because there are some of us living who have lived more than 3,000 years on earth, and we feel the spirit in us. It is not about these little material things, these cars and these things that you are doing. If you believe it, you become a liar. And then anybody at all can take advantage of you. But if you feel the truth in you, always you are much more stronger. It is time we wake up from our slumber and to bury the differences and to change our mind from little things like metal decorations of the new functions and all those things. You know, as the sister said, we have to work hard. We can work hard when you come to our ceremonies. Mr. Glenn was there just 3 weeks ago, so I'm taking the opportunity to invite you to come to help us to build the website. Maybe director knows somebody who can help us to build the website. If you have the website, maybe you stay home. You don't even need to come to anywhere. You can just chip in, and then you call your son, hey, Glenn, come. And then Glenn will come and sit by you, and Glenn will start to read. Then we'll generate from there. Because when they are dancing to that side, it is time you also have to dance to that side. It is not always that we will sit down and allow them that we have to feel stupid. They always want us to feel stupid and to think stupid. That is what is going on now. Because always they want to see you all. Look, then even when they are asking, everybody know that 1 + 1 is 2. But when you tell them that 1 + 1 is 2, they still want to add something that 1 + 1 is 2, but they don't want to hear it from your mouth that 1 + 1 is 2.
One note, it's one book. It's called Hebrewism in West Africa. It's talk about the connection between the Ashantis and the ancient Hebrews.
What's it called?
The book is called Hebrewism in West Africa.
Yes, and this is the the African heritage, and then we originally we are the Hebrews. Yes, we are the Levites. Even if you read the Bible, we talk about the Levites who had the right to hold the Ark of the Covenant, and nothing was happening to them. But now they have changed the course.
Yes.
And we see ourselves as prophets. We see originally, but if you are dirty, you can never be that. Because even if you are a king and you don't behave like a king, you are no more a king. You have to be clean. You have to be righteous. You must tell the truth so that you can set the people free. So I'm saying that the spiritual part of it is not what we will talk about today. But the coming together is the most important thing. Because as I said, all these Bibles that they have written, why is it that the Ashanti king is the only person who goes to Buckingham Palace in Britain and is given much more hours to stay with the queen? You can check. Because they learned a lot from us about this democracy that they are talking about. Where did they learn democracy? They learned democracy from us. Because when they came, they saw that before we elect a king, the people have to come together and look at the character of the person to see if he fits for the position. Then the king will set the council of elders. This one is for finance. This one for defense. They learn from us. But they don't want to tell our children that, oh, your great-grandfathers have done a good job. Thank you. They still tell us that we don't know anything.
That's why we should teach our children.
Exactly.
We will teach them
And now-
words by mouth in the house,
Yes.
that in the family, and then to school.
Yes. And as I was telling about the partition and the scramble, when they did the partition and the scramble and everything over, then they started using guns so that we forget about the democracy. And after we forget about the democracy, and they use the French-speaking country, black people who are speaking French against people who are speaking English, and who are speaking English against people who are speaking Arab, and they were able to penetrate us, then we lost our identity. And after that, they say, we are coming to teach you what is democracy. Something that they took from us, they are saying they are coming to teach us. And now, every country in Africa that they are teaching democracy, they are teaching us democracy with homosexuality. That we have to allow homosexuality with democracy because it is my right. Now they want to destroy it, the origination of it. But this is not what we are talking. The reason they want to do that is they know that those are the things that they can use to kill the spirit that we have. But some of the black people are trying to understand because their rights have been in their hands, that what the white people are saying is true. It is you and me who can come together to rescue the people. So that is it.
And the story that they talk about African countries, that there is Ebola, there is AIDS, and there is disease.
Okay.
There was
Ebola. First, AIDS.
And why do they do that?
Okay, AIDS is acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Okay, the white people saw that there is a lot of money in Africa, and Africa population was increasing. So there was the need for them to diminish the population of Africa. So they went to Kenya when they invented AIDS in Brazil. AIDS was invented by the Americans and the Europeans in Brazil, here in Belgium. So when it was invented, they took it to Kenya and Congo to try it. When they tried it, they saw that it was working. And then they said that, okay, now South Africans have had independence. Botha regime is no more. Let us use AIDS to kill the South Africans. So they started putting AIDS in South Africa so that they could kill the people after the apartheid system. So originally the purpose of AIDS was to kill South Africans because the apartheid system was overthrown. But they forgot, and that is where I call the name of Yahweh, that God is great. They were going on holidays and they were sleeping with the women in South Africa. So the AIDS started to spread all over the world. And they knew that when they killed the South Africans and they put the AIDS there, they don't have the money to buy the medicine to cure the AIDS. But when Michael Johnson. What is the name of the
Magic Johnson,
Magic Johnson?
the basketball
The
player.
basketball player had AIDS and he had money. He's living till now
Yes.
as a healthy man and he's not dead. This is to tell you that the very moment they invented AIDS, they had the medicine. But because it was meant for the weak and to kill the black people, they put it there and people have died in their numbers. There was a man in Ghana who had the medicine for AIDS. His name is Okomfo Kwakufri. Nana Kwakufri. He had AIDS medicine. And when he started to use the medicine, the white people condoned and connived with black people, invited him to Japan, and they killed him just like an ant because he wanted to kill the disease. Now back to Ebola. Ebola is in only countries in Africa where we have diamonds because they want to use Ebola to take our diamonds. So they also invented, Americans invented Ebola because when Charles Taylor had a lot of diamond from Liberia and they got to know that the rebels from Sierra Leone, Guinea and those people could have a lot of diamonds, then they invented the Ebola. Ebola was first invented in Zaire during the era of Mobutu Sese Seko. But because Mobutu Sese Seko was one of the richest African head of states, he didn't allow Ebola to thrive in Zaire. So they made everything possible to take him away. And then, because the story was about to leak, they stopped. And so a few years ago, they started with Ebola again to kill countries in Africa where we have diamonds. So that is the story of AIDS and Ebola. Not that we are not aware. We are aware, but we have to gather our strength in order to fight against it. Now they have penetrated with language barriers. Africans who speak French, Africans who speak English, Africans who speak Arab. When they have a meeting in Ghana and the French people come and we decide that from today we are not going to allow the white people to have any place in Africa that they will propagate the AIDS, then France will call the French-speaking countries and tell them that we are giving you help, we are giving you aid. If you ever agree to what was said in the English-speaking country in Ghana, we are going to stop the aid that we are giving to you. So tell them that you are not going to follow the agreement. When the agreement is also set in a French-speaking country, then British also will call Ghana. It is existing till today. When the Libya president, Muammar Gaddafi, was in South Africa to make open pronouncement that today is Thursday, I am advising all African head of states that Africa is tremendously rich. Don't put your money in a Swiss bank anymore. Start to withdraw all your money from outside the world and put it in African bank. He said that on Thursday. Tuesday, France made pronouncement that we are sending troops to Libya to overthrow Gaddafi because Gaddafi have $34 billion in France. And all filling stations that you see, ELF, was belonging to the Libyan. So if all Africans will withdraw their money, how are we going to get all these monies from Africa? Coming back to what my sister said, it is very sad to think only about the slavery and other things. We have a lot of big problems that we have to fight against. Where are the people? Look at Holland here, the children who are schooling. There's little studies that we have done about Ghanaians is that Ghanaian children were going to school here in Netherlands. Few of them had the opportunity to become graduates here in Netherlands. Then the parents started seeing the system here in Netherlands that it is not good for them. They started migrating to Britain. If 100 Ghanaian children have been in Britain for the past 10 years, 70% of them have become graduates in Britain. But when they were here, They tell them that you have to go to special school. The child is not serious. The child likes to play. The child cannot understand the language.
They have language barrier. This
Yes.
Nice.
And now, those Ghanaians who have done their masters and those courses in Britain, most of them have come back to Holland. And if they were given 1,200 a month, they have been employed by the same Dutch people, and they are paying them 3,500, 2,500. They're receiving higher salaries, which means that the system we are seeing here is not the way it is. It is time we open our eyes and to stand as a united front, to champion the cause, to open the avenues for the children to come. We are victims. It doesn't mean that you have to clench our fingers and sit down. We have to fight. It is time to fight. There are a lot to talk about, but I don't know what I can say.
Nou, we kunnen nog een afronding gaan, denk ik. Kunnen we nog vragen, laatste vragen misschien? Wat wordt veel gesproken? I think we can finish it.
Okay.
And I want to thank you, all of you, that you come here, take make such a long trip to come here and explain the other side of the story. And I think it's important to tell it further that other black organizations invite you to the story. And maybe the radio of Radio Maat in Amsterdam, maybe it's, we can make contact with them. That, you have do that in the past, eh? That you have had
I was doing that with
program.
one Suriname woman on the radio Razo in the South Coast, but she left for Suriname and she has not come back. When I talk like this, a lot of people were. It was very, 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 very good. It was emancipating the people in a whole lot of ways. So I still want to have the opportunity, because I think everybody come into the world with a purpose. I think my purpose is what I'm doing. I'm so happy today. I don't know any words that can describe it. I'm very, very happy. Because when I was schooling and I started seeing the other side of the story, they were lying to us about a whole lot of things. Then I saw that it is not necessary. It is not necessary to amass degrees with credentials saying I'm this and that. It is about what we can do to help humanity. So this is what we are doing. Let's continue. Anywhere you invite us, we will come. You will come with our culture. We will come with everything. We have a troop, cultural troop. Anywhere anybody belongs to, if it's a group or wherever, when you invite us, not only these 3 people will come. We will come and dance, beat drums, share together fun and ideas, and talk about the black identity. We are ever ready to portray that. It doesn't matter if the day or in the night. Anytime you can invite Ashanti Heritage International Movement, and we will be there.
Okay. So thank you for being here and thank you very much. En ik bedank jullie ook dat jullie van zo ver zijn gekomen, de moeite hebben gedaan, ondanks het mooie weer, alles. Dat jullie hier zijn geweest. En ik hoop dat de contacten verder worden gelegd in andere steden, Amsterdam, Rotterdam. Met z'n hoop we samen gaan werken in de toekomst.
Thank
Okay.
you. And I have one story to tell.
Oh.
You know, when the white people came to Africa, the reason why they see the Ashanti people in a different manner is that Ashantis believe in gold.
Gold?
Gold. Oh. We believe in gold. So they found the Ashantis in the golden cave. Our great ancestors, if he is a man, his manhood was proved by the amount of gold that he has. So they will build a cave, you know, like a big stone.
Yeah.
Then they were living, because they were not building houses, so most of them were living in caves. And they would decorate the cave with the gold. And when the sun throws on the gold, it gives a nice light. So when he's coming from the golden cave, and you see him, you see his body, shining like something. So, yes, like the morning star. So, they started describing us as the people who were shining like the morning star. And then, so when you go to Suriname, anywhere we have the black people, the Ashantis always like to put on the gold.
And the nicest clothes.
And the nicest clothes. You know, these are some of the things that is about us. And now, one secret is gold is power. Gold drives away evil spirits. So if you are there and always you are confronted with little things that you don't understand in your life, like a lot of calamities and misfortunes and those things, try to put gold on yourself. Because gold drives away a lot of evil things.
Okay.
And gold is also something that you don't have to steal from somebody. If you know that you don't have money to take it, cool down. Wait, if it doesn't belong to your home, don't go and steal it from somebody. Work hard and have at least gold ring or something to put on. Because if you have it on, it brings also fortune to you. That is
Thank you. That's beautiful.
a tip.
We have some gold sisters.
And also gold calls money. You know, because money, gold is the head of money. So if you are you are home and you are doing business, and always you are losing business, you are losing your husband, you are losing any good things around you, try to put gold in the house. Even if you are selling, try to have some gold there. And where you put your money, put the small gold in the pot that you save your money. And then it attracts money. Yeah, it will bring all the money.
It's a praktische wijk. Nana wil die website even zien.
Ja, nee, maar kijk, ik kan...
Jordi, ga weg met die camera.
Thank you.